Let's go to the phone. Oh, Skype, right?
Oh,
let's go to Skype.
That's why we like Chris.
And bring in Chris Chase.
We get to look at him.
He is our favorite sports writer from USA Today. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Aren't you guys lucky? Get to see my pretty face today.
That's why we keep inviting you back. Yeah. We get so many women who tweet us. Bring Chris Chase back, please. He Skypes.
Of course.
Our advertising selling force out there is trying to arrange a daily Chris Chase segment, and we can send you some money.
Well, hey, benefits everyone.
Do the Patriots cheat at everything?
Yeah. I mean,
Scrabble,
and you know, what do you talk about last time?
Words with friends? They cheat?
Oh, absolutely. They're looking on the internet. They're figuring out which 6-letter word goes best. They cheated everything, and you were talking about this last time I was on, or 2 times ago I was on, and this is something that's systematic inside Belichick, and a lot of it. There was 2 articles that came out today. One was the ESPN one that was really, really damning of the Patriots. Another was a Sports Illustrated one that was less damning and talked more about some tweaks Belichick used to make when he was coaching. How he would, maybe have like an airport spy to see whether or not players would get off the team planes. That's not illegal. That's a gray area. Is it shady? Of course it is, but it's not illegal. But then you get to the Spygate stuff, you get to the Deflategate stuff, and it all makes sense now. We've been asking this whole time, why would all these owners continue to support Roger Goodell? What point could they have to support Goodell? And now this ESPN article sort of makes sense. They were upset about the way he handled Spygate, so they wanted him to bring the hammer on Deflategate. Unfortunately, he mishandled both, and now he is in this quagmire of his own making.
I was going to say that, and I may have brought this up before because of your location, that the Nixon White House leading up to his second run for presidency, when he won the presidency, not against JFK, that they had a term for it, and they called it, I can't say it on television, rat intercourse. And that's their term for it. And they did stuff that they didn't need to do, but they just did it because it was fun.
It
was to beat the system.
They could.
And they would send people to the Democratic candidate at the time, McGovern. They'd send people to his rallies and hold up signs and saying, "We love McGovern. He wants babies killed," and stuff like that. And they would they'd intercept mail that was intended and just open it up and flame it. I mean, they were doing stuff all the time, and that's what the ESPN. I read the whole report this morning that ESPN Outside the Lines about just doing crap all the time. That they would hire a guy and a player who was cut just to find out what the defensive signals were, and we know all of that. I mean, can the NFL really enforce what Belichick is doing other than to ban him from the league? Is this Pete Rose level kind of stuff?
Because there's so little evidence to prove it, because I think Thomas Jones, one of the old running backs who was on a slew of teams, including the Patriots, went on radio today and said 75% of it's sour grapes. I think because so much of that is out there and there's so little proof, especially with the evidence being destroyed in Spygate, which was in Spygate, which was really the premise of the ESPN post today. That said the NFL went in, they destroyed this, what the Patriots called proprietary evidence that some of it had been legally attained. And, so I don't think there's enough evidence to ban Belichick. And I get all these Patriots lovers on Twitter writing me saying, what would you do? Do you want them to give back their titles? Should they not have rings? And I'm, no, because I think it's stupid when the NCAA takes down banners. We saw the games. We know what happened. But, if, to go back to the Nixonian term, I mean, Nixon won, 48 states in 1972?
Yeah.
And the Patriots, have like a 750 winning percentage. But it's the little things for the Patriots, whereas in, national election, it's the big things. It's the little things for a team, and one defensive signal. You're just talking about Raheem Moore. I mean, let's say the Ravens had known that play was coming. That changes the entire course of Peyton Manning's time in Denver. I'm not saying the Ravens did, but that's what one play can do, especially in the NFL. So I don't know what they should do with Belichick. I think I think he's already done enough to himself. I think he's not going to get in first ballot Hall of Fame. I think he'll get in eventually because he'll deserve it because he will have those rings. But I think there will be some sort of, tax to pay down the line.
Chris, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. When Spygate happened, I had an NFL head coach tell me, other teams do this. Don't other teams do a lot of the things the Patriots are being accused of? Or is it just so proliferate with New England? They do so much of it that you point the finger at them more so than at any other team.
Can I jump in? Mike Tyson was called a serial butt fondler, and that was based on the fact he went to prison. Well, yeah, other fighters were doing that, but when you are Mike Tyson, there's a lot more emphasis on that, and he ended up in prison. The New England Patriots, because they've been in all those Super Bowls, 6, they lost 2 of those, won 4 during a period of, what, Chris, about 13 years?
3 and 4 years, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, well, but they were also, the lost it to the Giants. That, if the Detroit Lions are doing it, we don't care. The Detroit Lions aren't any good. It's because they're the best team in football for the last 15 years.
Don't other teams do this, Chris?
Right, it's part of it. It's heavy as the head that weighs the crown, wears the crown, and it's also there are a lot of teams doing it. I think we said in an earlier appearance, if Alex Smith had been caught deflating footballs for the Chiefs, nothing happens. This is not something that we're going to be talking about. But just because other teams are doing it, the Patriots have been caught doing it. I haven't seen the Redskins get caught. I haven't seen the Broncos get caught. Haven't seen the Niners. And you would think that the Patriots would be very, very eager to, make a call to say, hey, Dolphins are recording our practices too. You would think it'd be in their best interest to maybe leak it to someone that, oh, this team is doing it. But so, I can only assume that other teams are trying. If you're not trying, if you're not cheating, you ain't trying. But it's everything together. It is the snowball. And that ESPN Outside the Lines piece today just really kind of put it all together for the first time. So you can just see. And really, and they made this, I don't know if this was a point that is true, but they made the point that it sort of all came down from Belichick's father. Not the cheating part, but the get every edge. He was a scout. He was a Navy football coach. And he taught get every edge. And Belichick has gotten every edge, both through regular means, through gray area, and through, dark area, through cheating. And has it helped them win Super Bowls? No one can say yes or no. No one can say that taping the Rams walkthrough, if that happened, helped them win that Super Bowl. But you have to admit, Marshall Faulk did nothing in that Super Bowl. And everyone blamed Mike Martz for years. And, it's interesting to read Mike Martz's quotes on the ESPN thing today because he got hammered for that Super Bowl. The Rams were like 14.5-point favorites, and he didn't give the ball to Faulk, who was his, the best runner in the NFL at the time. And now we learned that it was because the Patriots were keyed in on him, which they would have been anyway. But it seemed if they knew what was coming and when Faulk was getting the ball out of the backfield, that would have been a big thing. So you can't say definitively, which is why you can't penalize the Patriots. But the people who are going to be Patriots truthers and are going to believe Belichick and everything he does will always do it. The people I think I can speak for Woody and myself, who sort of doubt the Patriots, will always do it. And there's there's not going to be much in between.
So Chris is saying the Patriots cheat in everything, from putting extra pickles at Subway on their sandwich to Skygate.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a Skygate soon. They're getting refunds on plane tickets or something. Yeah. That's the next. That's the next one.
Chris, as always, appreciate your time and appreciate the fact you Skyped for us.
My pleasure, guys.
Your Twitter handle one more time for everybody?
Chris Chase FTW.
That's easy enough. Chris, thank you very much. And, of course, you can read him at usatoday.com.
Go to and use his bank.
Yeah.
Chase
Manhattan.
I wish.
Thanks, Chris. Chris Chase of USA Today. That was brought to you by John Elway Chevrolet, Colorado's #1 Chevrolet dealer.
When you go to buy a car, what do you really want? You probably want a lot of cars to choose from. And you want the dealership's best price. Not some starting price or target price, the best price. And you want it immediately, not after hours of negotiating. And you want a salesperson who doesn't get paid more if you spend more. Because, well, you don't want to spend more. Well, you're in luck. John Elway wants all of those things too. Better yet, John Elway wants you to have all of those things too. Come see us or click on johnelwaychevrolet.com.